Hello everyone, this is Kieran from Keys Minis and welcome to today's video. Today we're just taking a look at some quick recipes to just add extra detail to your vehicles like your Sagiturs or whatever. I'm using a hammerhead copper here and it's just one or two quick coats inside the wheel. Alternatives, you can use silver, any kind of silver you want. I just, because of this colour scheme I was going for with these Trans-Hyperium, I thought the bronzy colour would look good. So you could also mix it up with something like a Citadel. Balthazar Gold could work as well, or one of their copper versions. Using AK Tense Black next, I'm just one coat over the primer. So I prime these black, so a quick coat of AK Intense Black over the wheel area just to get good coverage and tidy up any of the areas gently around the where you've just painted that copper. Next up, I'm using a Dawnstone and I'm just highlighting around the inner wheel trims. Alternatively, you could dry brush this. Just the way the client and me were working towards these, the finish on these, I chose not to. Dry brushing would have just meant I'd have had to spend just as long cleaning up as what I would have took to paint it. Now I'm going to use a Basilicum Grey inside the wheel. Alternatively, I use Cygor Brown sometimes as well, and it's just to add a bit of shading. I'm not really going to do too much to these wheels, but you could add something like an Araman Blue if you want to add some verdigris around the wheel nuts as well. And next I'm going to take AK Dark Rust, and all I'm going to do is just in between the tyre treads, I'm just going to add a very thin washed layer of AK Rust. If I get anywhere else, just a slight wipe off with a finger, but it doesn't matter too much, it's just to create a nice mud effect. And that's a tyre done, nice and simple recipe. Alternatively, you could use Mournfang Brown for a Citadel colour to do that brown. Now I'm doing the canopy. I would tend to work the canopies is I tend to paint one half of these with the AK Black first, allow that to dry, and then paint the next half. And it roughly takes around 2 layers without having to prime them or anything. You just take your time. It's it'll dry a little messy, but at first, but a couple of layers, 2 to 3 max, I've always managed with this colour. Just thin it down a little bit with water, not too much, and you get a nice coverage overall. Like I said, I tend to work in halves of the canopies. And then Dawnstone, I'm going to do very similar as the wheels. I'm just going to apply a small edge highlight or a highlight on the inner parts of the, I don't know what they're called, that part of the canopy, but where the window frame basically. And around the edges of the canopy frame as well. Just take your time, use a nice point of a brush to get good accurate lines. You might have to go over them once or twice, but usually you're okay with one. Don't worry if you catch it anywhere or you make a little mistake on the canopy. You can easily wipe that off with a little bit of water, get on your brush and just clean it off, and then dry it and just make sure you clear it away. And just take your time and pick out the areas you want. And then all we're going to do is we're going to copy that dark AK Rust for the wheels, and we're going to create a muddy effect on the canopies basically. I like this effect, it just adds a bit more depth and detail to them, rather than painting the whole canopy, and if you've painted the entire side of the vehicle and the characters, and you've wasted all that time basically. But I like to, for this look, we wanted them to have their characters on show, so I had a little bit of dirt and weathering effect basically with this AK Dark Rust. Creates nicely thinned down. You shouldn't need more than 1 or 2 layers, and just working the bottom edges. And here's the finished video. Here's the finished Sagittaire, lights on, the wheels. If you've enjoyed this, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll be back again next week.